Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Burning Hammer Live. This is the live stream for the Burning Hammer podcast. We are going to be live streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you can listen to the Burning Hammer podcast every Monday. It's available on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And the best way to make sure, the best way to no, when we release new episodes is to follow us on our social media. You can follow us on Twitter at The Burnt Hammer. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube at The Burning Hammer. And make sure to follow us on Twitch at The Burning Hammer Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at @MarkIzzo_wave. And you can follow Dylan on Twitter at DillO'Brien_wave. And me and Dylan write professional wrestling for Vendetta Sports Media. You can follow them on Twitter at VendettaVSM. You can follow them on Instagram and TikTok at Vendetta Sports Media. And make sure to visit VendettaSportsMedia.com for all of your sports needs, TVs, movies, gaming, you name it, they cover it. Head over to VendettaSportsMedia.com. Now, kick us off.
Do that. I just tweeted out the live as well on my Twitter. So
that's right. So to kick us off, we've got some sad news. At New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence, Mercedes Mone suffered an apparent ankle injury. It's said to be a broken ankle. She was facing Willow Nightingale to crown the first New Japan Strong Women's Champion. It's a shame, man. We were talking about it a few weeks ago, just how important Mercedes Mone is in not only women's wrestling, but in professional wrestling as a whole.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate. If it does end up being a bit of a long-term injury, and Mercedes is going to have to miss some time, an extended period of time. I mean, it's just so unfortunate. We were fans, and as well as her, I'm sure, we're dying for her to get back in the ring. And after a long hiatus, people just praying that she's going to come back. And then, of course, making her resurgence in Japan and as Mercedes Mone, and really kind of breaking the mold for women's independent wrestling, as far as like we were talking about. Mercedes Mone is like really one of the first women's wrestlers that is, she is bigger than, you know what I mean? She's just as big as any company out there, you know what I mean? And she's a big enough draw in herself. So yeah, it's just really unfortunate. With that being said, really happy for Willow Nightingale. It's no shot on her by any means. It seems like a lot of people seem to think that the plan was for Mercedes to win. And then once she was injured during the match, they called an audible and had Willow win. But I don't think it's Willow Nightingale is not a bad choice to have as your first NJPW Strong Women's Champion either. It's really just a shame with the Mercedes injury, and really just wish her speedy recovery, and hope that she's all right, and hope we get to see her back soon.
Yeah. So on behalf of the Burning Hammer podcast, Mercedes, we hope you have a speedy recovery, and we know you'll come back stronger than ever. So let's move on, because we had some breaking news this morning. I woke up, crust in my eyes, scrolling through Twitter, and I thought I was dreaming, but it turns out I wasn't, because we got the release date for AEW Fight Forever. Let's go.
Finally.
June 29th. So
yeah, AEW Fight for Never was the nickname for a while, because it seemed like this game was never going to come out, but we finally have a release date. Hopefully it doesn't get pushed back. June 29th. Saw some of the graphics. I was gonna what's your take on the graphics? With being that it's more of a arcade style graphic rather than like an EA or a 2K style game.
I do not mind it at all. Like,
Me either. Yeah, me either.
it's like, and I know, like, excuse me, the very first like clips that were released, like, it was a very rough like demo of the clip, and everyone was hating on it. And it was just like, clearly that's not going to be the final product. And we've come a long way from the final product. I think it looks great. I think that, like, I think it's not arcade enough to where it's like it's like shitty graphics and stuff.
No, it doesn't look like
Um,
it's like a cell phone like app store type game. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's
it just looks like they didn't put their entire budget just into making sure it looks as realistic as possible. It looks like they put their entire budget into making the game as fun as possible.
which is realistically that's the way to go for sure. It's like that is like I'm not it's if anyone's like serious complaint is that Kenny Omega doesn't look realistic enough in Fight Forever, um then they can just go make Kenny Omega in 2K themselves and in
And
WWE 2K and
it's
um
also it's their first video game.
yeah.
Like, obviously, it's not going to be the most stunning
Hey,
looking
let's
video
go.
game.
Shout out to Billy in purple in the stream right now.
Oh, hell yeah. Shout out Billy. That's
Shout
our
out to
dude.
Billy and the whole purple gang.
Yeah, so I think what makes this game so much fun, and I think what's so important about Fight Forever is that, yes, it's a wrestling video game, but I think that more importantly, you don't need to be a fan of professional wrestling to be able to play.
Well, yeah, and of course you got guys like hardcore gamers like the Bucks and Kenny, like
Yeah.
these guys are gamers. So they know video games. So it's definitely gonna be really exciting
Yeah.
to play
And
this game.
so,
I can't wait, really.
yeah, and like the
Is it
thing,
gonna be out for Switch? Do we know?
yep,
Sweet.
I got it pre-ordered. Yeah,
Oh
dude, that was
yeah.
the other thing. I've had it My girlfriend got it pre-ordered, I think, for my birthday, and that was a while ago.
That was
And
December 1st.
yeah, so
Jesus Christ.
and they didn't have an official release date, which I always thought was weird that you could pre-order the game without an official release date. And then there's
Yeah.
some things were leaked, but so like I have WWE 2K23, and I think the biggest difference is if you're a wrestling fan, you're gonna play WWE 2K, but like you don't if you like I can play with my girlfriend. I can play Fight Forever with my girlfriend, and it'll
Yeah.
be fun, just as much fun for her as it will be for me. And she doesn't even watch professional wrestling. So I think that's the biggest takeaway, and I think that's the most important thing about it. Yeah, it's hitting like everywhere. Every stream or every gaming console, which was another
Awesome.
thing that's annoying with WWE is that they haven't released their game on Switch yet. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? So,
Which is not to be like yeah, I'm a Switch. I have a Switch. Mark plays Switch. I know Mark has a PlayStation as well, but yeah, that's been like one of my I've never been like a huge gamer in my life, but I've always swayed Nintendo, especially when the Switch came out, just because like that's just my type of games. When I do like to play games, that's what I like to play. And the one thing about it is it's always just sucked that the wrestling games or the sports games hardly ever come out for Switch, and when they do, they're not very good.
yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to Fight Forever because I have faith that it's going to be a very fun game.
Yeah. And so shout out to Billy. Just watch the top 5. We released a new episode of the Burning Hammer podcast this morning. Me and Dylan discussed our top 5 personal favorite wrestlers of all time. You can listen to that wherever you listen to your podcast.
It was a tough list to make, man.
Yeah, very tough list. So yeah, listen to that wherever you listen to your podcasts. And so it's Monday, which means Monday Night Raw is on tonight. We are coming off of a really good episode of Monday Night Raw last week, and we've got potential for this to be another super fun show. So, to kick us off, Candice LeRae is taking on Zoe Stark, and I think this is going to be a sneaky good match. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm really hoping they give these women some time, and give them a proper, 10 in between 10 and 15 minutes, because it's both like it has potential to be an extremely good TV match. It seems like they have plans for Zoe Stark. She's been on TV each week since she's been called up. She's gotten some impressive wins. And she's really good. She's really good in the ring. And I think she gets hate on her character work and like mic work. I don't think she's nearly as bad as a lot of people make her out to be.
Agreed.
Which is like, I don't think she's nearly as bad. Like, people make her out to seem like she's awful, and she's really not.
Yeah.
She's just not great, but she's not bad at all.
She's fine. She can hold her own.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like gritting my teeth every time she cuts a
Yeah,
segment.
exactly. Like that's what
like that's what I am for like Rhonda. Like every time Rhonda speaks, I'm just like, oh
yeah, it's just like so cringy. Like Zoe isn't as like cringe as like Rhonda.
Yeah. And we've seen just how highly WWE thinks of her because she's had segments every week. She's had matches every week. So they definitely are thinking very highly of
she's
her.
Also really good. She's really fun to watch in the ring. Like,
yeah. Great finisher,
incredibly
by the way.
Oh, her finisher is awesome. Her finisher is like right up there with like some of the best in WWE right now, in my opinion.
It's one of the finishers you watch and then you have to rewatch just
yeah, you're like, oh shit, what was that?
Yeah. And so I know I told you this, but I think they should put Zoe Stark with Shayna and Ronda and have a little badass faction.
That wouldn't be bad at all. Zoe should be the leader.
Yeah, I think that would be.
Or Shayna.
I think probably Shayna at first, but
I mean, Ronda would definitely be the leader.
Yeah,
technically, but she shouldn't. she should just be the muscle.
Yeah. So I think this could be a match that steals the show. I think this could be the same thing where it was Seth versus The Miz a few weeks ago on Raw, and they just had a banger. Like this could be exactly that. So let's move on. We've got the contract signing. Trish Stratus is signing her contract to take on Becky Lynch at WWE Night of Champions. Dylan, how do you see this contract signing play out? Who do you think comes out on top in this contract signing? Who's going through the table?
Becky.
Agreed. I agreed.
Like Becky's going through the table is what we're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I also think Trish is going to win the match.
Yeah.
This isn't done. They're not going to like, that's what I mean. They're not going to, they're going to bring this all the way to SummerSlam probably.
Yeah, I think, the third match will be at SummerSlam. It lines up perfectly. So
yeah, so what do? They'll do this, Money in the Bank, and then SummerSlam?
Yeah.
All right. That works.
Yeah, I think I'm excited for this. I think this could be a nice little segment. I think that since Becky returned and got the better of Trish, I think Trish is going to outsmart Becky and sort of play with her emotions a little bit during this contract signing. And I think Becky's going through the table. So I think we're going to see Trish outsmart Becky and really start to play some mind games. But I think that's going to be a fun little segment. So let's move on. We've got Imperium taking on Sammy and KO and a mystery partner. Dylan, kick us off. Who do you think this mystery partner is going to be? I think there's only one person.
So, sorry. Realistically, in my opinion, there's only 3 options that make sense at all. Dude, Santino Marella would be a great option as the mystery partner.
Yeah. Although he is signed to Impact Wrestling,
which would make it that much cooler.
I
have him walk out
and he slept on.
I
love Santino.
Just have Santino come out and he's just like, "You have a big mouth." he was like, "You have a big mouth, Mister Ball Heyman." Like that's exactly,
Dude, he's funny as shit.
Oh my god, he would Santino's like, "You have a big mouth, John Cena." That's like my favorite clip of all time. Okay, I think it's got to be either. It can be Cody. There's a slight chance it'll be Cody. It's not gonna be Cody probably, but it can. It could be Cody. There's a chance it could be Cody to keep him involved in the shit. Most realistically, it's gonna be Matt Riddle. Because most realistically, it's either going to be Riddle or Ali, just because obviously Mustafa Ali one is going up against Gunther at Night of Champions. Which let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah,
what a dub!
Our boy Ali.
Let's
Ali. We
Let's
love Ali,
go, man.
Burning Hammer.
Getting a title shot. You're gonna be an absolute. Dude, Ali is going to sell so fucking hard for that match. It's going to be insane. Like, yeah, it's insane how much of a dying craft and art form selling is in professional wrestling. Ali is definitely one of the guys who's like one of those guys who are like younger that is, in my opinion, definitely still expresses that very, very rare art form that is still around of proper selling and good selling. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Anyway, it could either be him or it could be Riddle, just because Riddle, when he was in the thing last week, he kicked his flip-flops at Gunther and Imperium. Yeah. Oh. And then Gunther and Imperium eliminated Matt Riddle like from the Battle Royal. But if it is Matt Riddle, it just feels weird to me because it almost just feels like they're like pushing.
I don't think it will be.
Yeah, it just feels weird to me because it almost feels like they're like. It just makes no sense. I feel like it has to be Ali.
And I think it wouldn't make sense because like KO like doesn't really like Riddle. Like,
yeah,
character, like in like the storyline wise, like he didn't want to team with him before. Jaded Zodiac says R-Truth.
I'd be down.
It'd be fun. I don't know when he's gonna return from injury, but
didn't he have like a bad injury?
He tore his pec.
Yeah.
So that's like,
I'm all in on R-Truth though.
That'd be fun. Hey man, I love R-Truth. One of the sleepers. I think. So
people over there, what's up? You feel me? I'm saying what's up? What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? I think it's not. I don't think it's going to be Cody because I think Cody's just so locked in on Brock. Right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to be Riddle just because I think he's done with that. And I think it's going to be Ali because it makes the most sense. If it's not Mustafa Ali, it would be weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it would be weird if it's Riddle. Like, even though it makes sense for it to be Riddle because of like the little interaction that he had with Imperium and he's already teamed with Sammy and KO. It's just weird because then it's just like, all right, well, then you have Gunther, then you have Imperium and Riddle in the middle of this little feud, but it's like, but it doesn't even matter because he doesn't have a title. Like he should be focused on Ali anyway. Riddle doesn't mean Riddle. Good, like that's what I mean. If it shouldn't be Riddle because
he's not involved.
It shouldn't be Matt Riddle because Gunther has zero reason to think twice about Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle is nothing to Gunther. That's what I'm saying. Like he doesn't have a title shot. He doesn't have anything.
Yeah. It's going to be Ali because they always do this. And it's usually, if they do something like this, it's the person who's challenging for the titles. It's always a third person. So let's transition. Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar in the same arena. This is how WWE is advertising it.
Yeah, so stupid.
What do you think is going to happen? Like, what is this? What do you think this is?
We're probably going to get the same thing that we've been getting, which is like yelling and security guards breaking them apart and running at each other. I don't think there's going to be much of a proper. I think it's just going to be these two trying to attack each other or something. Um, yeah.
I will say, I hope for Brock's sake that they're not in the same ring at the same time cutting a promo, because Cody would absolutely rip him a new ass. I think,
That would be good though.
yeah, but I don't think it would. I think Brock would get exposed on the mic, is what I'm saying.
I don't think it matters though.
You don't think it would hurt Brock Lesnar's character if he goes out there and just gets, not even like, I'm the baby face, I got the better of you in this segment. It's just like a disaster of a segment. Like Cody just absolutely cooks him. Like, and we saw it when he attacked Cody. Like we said it to us, it seemed like he just forgot what to say and just kept screaming, "Look at this face."
I don't know. Like, I just never hold that much weight on Brock. Like, to me, there's not that much that affects Brock. You know what I mean? There's not that much that hurts the stock of Brock Lesnar. He's just Brock
Yeah, fair enough.
Lesnar. Like,
Fair enough.
he's just, yeah. I'm just, like, I just, if anything else, I think it would just be fun to watch Cody destroy him and then Brock get like all heated and just like get like try to say something back and then just get fucking angry and just like attack him. Like, that would be cool. I think
Yeah,
that could
I
be
think,
proper.
dude,
Like Brock like
Cody,
starts saying something and Cody cuts him off and he's like, "You can't stand that I am better than you ever." Like, this, you know what I mean? Like, you can't stand like you can't stand the fact that you've been handpicked since the day you were born, and now someone has come in and kicked you out of your chair and taken it over and refusing to give it back, or like some shit like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, because he like every promo from Cody's incredible, but like he had a really good line last week on Raw, when he was just like, Brock Lesnar, you were the big thing around here for 20 years. It's just like, but Brock Lesnar, you are not the big thing anymore. You are simply in my way.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw
that
that.
was fire. So yeah, I think, I don't know how much talking there's gonna be. I think there is going to be little talking, a lot of fighting, a lot of security guards.
I'm
Um,
pretty ready for this feud to be over, to be honest with you.
yeah. So, do you think this is gonna end at Night of
I
Champions?
fucking pray to God it does, dude.
I could see it ending at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I could also see it ending at Money in the Bank. If Cody wins, I don't really see how it
Yeah, if
goes much
Cody wins, it's
farther.
done. If
Um,
Brock wins, it's Money in the Bank.
well, honestly, like I really think that I feel pretty strongly. I'm not saying I necessarily want this to happen, but I really do think there's a really good chance that Cody wins Money in the Bank and like challenges Roman in the main event of SummerSlam, like is like on Raw or something. Like I'm cashing in my
Yeah.
Money in the Bank for the main event of SummerSlam. I just don't know how else we get back to Cody and Roman, and I don't know which way it just makes that. Yeah, I just don't know how we get back there, and I
So
don't know which other way to go with it.
I, because it's tough. Because I feel like they have to have a plan, because they drafted Cody to Raw, so they need
Yeah,
to have a
no, they
plan.
have a plan. That's why I
It's,
think their plan is to have him win Money in the Bank.
I know, but like,
I think they're just gonna have him accomplish everything he missed out on. Like win the Rumble, win Money in the Bank. I think maybe he has to check all these boxes before he finally gets it, maybe or something.
yeah, it's just like,
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
know.
it's necessary. I'm not saying it's like a good
Yeah,
like Cody winning
it's
Money in the Bank and then winning at SummerSlam is nowhere near as cool as Cody just winning at WrestleMania. Like,
yeah, and it's, I mean, you're right. Like, I'm trying to think about how we're going to get back to Roman. And the biggest issue is that Cody is on Raw.
Yeah.
So, like, when he's done with Brock, how is he going to pivot back to Roman Reigns?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. And it also screams that we're just filling up time until we get back to Cody and Roman as well, because you have Roman and like Roman doesn't, because Roman's still doing this. He's not doing any world title stuff right now. He's like, it's all bloodline focused and tag, and like with the Usos and Solo and stuff, it's more like internal. Even though they still have, like, they're going up against Sammy and KO. It has more to do with like the Usos than Sammy and KO, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
like the feud isn't with Sammy and KO anymore. The feud is within the bloodline now.
Yeah, it's like an internal beef, even though it's like obviously the Sammy and KO are gonna beef with Roman, but
yeah. So I don't know. Let us
we'll
know.
see what happens.
How do you guys think that Cody is going to get back to feuding with Roman Reigns? And do you think we're going to get Cody versus Brock at Money in the Bank? I think that if Cody wins at Night of Champions, then it's probably going to end there. Do you think? I'm surprised they're not adding, or maybe they will. Do you think they'll add a stipulation to their match tonight?
I hope so.
I feel like it needs it.
It needs it. Yeah, in my opinion, it needs it as well. But
You figured probably do like a no DQ or something, or
something like that.
I said before
fight.
steel cage.
Yeah, steel cage, something.
So it does need a stipulation because it just does. It's Brock Lesnar, and the amount of heat that these guys have towards one.
And he already got busted open last fight and stuff. Like,
yeah, and like we said on the podcast a few weeks ago, the biggest, or I think it might have been the live stream, but the biggest takeaway from that Lesnar segment was he said he wanted to fight. Like,
yeah.
So I think they're going to get a fight. So, that's it for Monday Night Raw. That's going to wrap it up. What is your excitement level for tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw?
Tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. I don't know. I say I'm at average excitement.
Do you have anything else that you feel like they are going to add to this?
I'm trying to think of what's going on.
Was that a women's tag match tonight? Or is
That's
that on
next,
SmackDown?
It's next week. It's next Monday.
After Night of Champions?
It's after Night of Champions. There's no women's tag match at Night of Champions.
Damn. All right.
I don't think there's going to be, at least.
Well, yeah, not if they're
doing it the night after.
Yeah. And so yeah, I think that this could be a fun show. So that's going to wrap up the live stream. Like I said to kick us off, we released the
Thank you, everybody.
We release the Burning Hammer podcast every single Monday. We talk all things professional wrestling. You can listen to it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And the best way to know when we've released new episodes is to follow us on our social media. You can follow us on Twitter at The Burnt Hammer. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube at The Burning Hammer. And you can follow us on Twitch at The Burning Hammer Podcast. Wherever you're watching, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, retweet, whatever it is, wherever you are, make sure to do all of that good stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at @MarkIzzo_wave. And you can follow Dylan on Twitter at DillO'Brien_wave. And guess what? Me and Dylan cover professional wrestling for Vendetta Sports Media. So you can follow them on Twitter at VendettaVSM. You can follow them on Instagram and TikTok at Vendetta Sports Media. And make sure to check out VendettaSportsMedia.com for all of your sports needs, TV, movies, gaming, professional wrestling, plus all other sports. You name it, they cover it. Head over to VendettaSportsMedia.com. That's going to wrap up the live stream. Like I said, We are going live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on Wednesday, you know what we're doing, Dylan?
What are we doing?
We're doing WWE Night of Champions predictions. The Burning Hammer podcast predictions. World Heavyweight Championship of the world is going to be on the line. So make sure to tune in on Wednesday to see our Night of Champions predictions.
Got to get it back.
We'll catch you on Wednesday.